Angry Faithful. I just wanted to drop in, bend your ear a little bit, get your attention. So if you're not listening, drop what you're doing and pay attention to me because I'm here to inform you that not only can you get your daily, maybe if you're binging it, I'm not sure, that's entirely up to you, but you can multiply your doses of angry me fuckery by paying attention to all of the platforms upon which you can find either the dulcet tones of my voice and David's voice, or my pretty face and David's not so pretty face. Anyways, digressing, we not only we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we're on Rumble, we're on Google, Apple Podcast. We have a TikTok page. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Facebook. So if you find yourself fuckery deprived, curl up with a nice hot mug of shut the fuck up and just listen. Open those ear holes and be prepared to be cream pied like it's the first time. Thanks for listening.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on episode 80 for Nerd Sports, we're going to go ahead and talk about car curling. Not just regular curling, car curling. Apparently, it's a big deal in Russia. Basically, it's demolition sports, but it's just basically use a car to curl on ice. That's my go. That's one.
So what the Russians did is they took a fat bar guy sport and put a Russian twist on it. I mean, like literally, I'm sitting here watching, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys push a Yugo down the ice.
That's their car, right? Communist car.
I'm just like, holy crap. And this dude, and they get a woman to, or this woman is driving this car.
Does it crash into another car? Because most
they do, and it's the same. It looks like the same rules as normal curling. Just obviously the rink is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
They took the back seats and folded them down to brace the back of the front seats. Kind of like a very, very, very crude poor man's roll cage. And I'm sitting here, I am in awe of this.
It's one of those things that you just look at and you're like, what's happening here? I don't understand. But okay, we'll keep this up. Yeah.
Well, okay. So you know how they say that that invention is that necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
I think because the Russians have been banned from every other sport in the world. This is
pretty much they're pretty much just like, we make our own sport.
And then the follow-on video is what looks like a city bus in Europe. It's snowing like crazy. There's cars going all over the place.
Double decker?
No, it's not a double decker. And it's just a really icy intersection, right? There's city buses that have got their wheels locked up and they're sliding through intersections. It's almost like they're drifting, right? But there was like 3 cars coming up to the stop sign and boom, 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 and pushed all 3 cars into the intersection. And then it looks like a work truck rear ends the first bus, and then another bus rear ends that truck. And then there's a cop car that's just kind of, oh God. No, you know what? That's in Canada. Oh my God. That's funny.
Yeah, because England uses double deckers. UK uses double deckers almost all the time.
Yeah. I mean, even the snowplow truck has got his wheels locked up, the blades on the ground. He's trying to salt behind him. And now he's lost control and he's about to put the blade to the front end of a cop car. And boom. Oh.
Send me that video because I'm actually curious.
Oh
now.
my God, that is hilarious.
Oh, one other thing that I think we need to go over. We'll do it like for
Here, I'm going to send it to your computer.
okay. What we need to do is go over the Daryl. Oh, what the fuck is his name? God damn it. I had it. Chris sent me a video. Chris sent me this video of this guy. He was just being okay. Dale Brooks. Daryl.
Are you talking about the guy in the courtroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go over that later.
Now, we'll go over it later. I would hope probably in psychosocial. I've totally forgot about this.
Oh,
It was
okay.
that dude
So
that
just
killed like 6 people in a Christmas
Right.
tree in Wisconsin.
but here's the thing. Okay, so you know that Netflix series, The Watcher?
Yeah, everybody's talking
Just-
about it. I don't want to
I
watch
just got done watching it. It's based on a true story.
it somewhat.
I know, but it's an actual case. I
Yeah.
want to go over that. I want to go over that in an episode.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
We need
here
to
we
do
are.
this soon. Do you want to do?
Yeah,
real quick,
I'm jumping right into baseball.
Okay.
Okay. So
Do you want to go over it for the Halloween special, or do you want to go over it for?
let's just do a Halloween special.
Do it for the Halloween special.
Yeah, we'll do it for the Halloween special. Yeah.
Because that's
All right,
on everybody's mind.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay, so we now know who is going to play in this year's World Series. It is the Philadelphia Phillies, who came into the playoffs as a wild card, an expanded wild card team. Okay, so this year we said that Major League Baseball expanded the playoff field. Instead of having 2 wild card teams, they had 3. The team with the highest records, they got bye weeks, so they advance automatically to the divisional series, and the division winner with the lowest record had to play in the wild card series. Okay. So you had the 2, you had the number 1 and the number 3 wild cards playing each other to advance, and then you had the number 2 wild card it was the 1 and 2 wild cards playing each other to advance, and the number 3 wild card playing a divisional winner to advance, right? So there was a lot of brackets that got busted, man. I mean, a lot of people were picking a lot of people were picking the Dodgers. There was a few people picking the Padres. There was even a lot of people picking the defending world champions, the Atlanta Braves. Let me take these glasses off. They had the Braves picked to go to the World Series and represent the National League. Nobody had the Phillies picked. Of course, nobody had. I don't think anybody had the Padres beating the Dodgers. Nobody had.
Yeah, because the Dodgers were on a roll most of the year.
Yeah, the Dodgers had the best record in baseball. They had like 111 wins or something like that this year.
Not to say they almost beat did they beat the record for the straight wins?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I know that they were on an 18-game winning streak earlier this year, but that, I think, game 19 of that that streak, it resulted in a loss. But Philadelphia, dude, they're playing some otherworldly baseball.
Either they're playing
Bryce Harper
baseball, or they're just like, dude, I still can't believe we did that.
I mean, they're the only ones that are believing in themselves right now. I mean, the fan base, the city of Philadelphia is going out of its mind right now. The Phillies are in the World Series. The Eagles are 6-0.
Yeah, I
mean, basically, what I think this is coming down to, it's the second coming of Christ. We've probably already experienced the rapture, and everybody who's left here on earth has to endure a 7-year reign of the city of Philadelphia and its fans. But
that doesn't bode well for us.
It doesn't.
No.
It really doesn't. But you know,
Me, I would just go up and was like, I get it.
so on the American League side, right, exactly. But on the American League side, we had the Yankees versus the Astros. And it was the repeat of the 2017 and 2019 ALCSs, where those two teams squared off for an opportunity to go to the World Series. And so, the Yankees, I mean, you remember what I was talking about before the regular season was over, was that the Yankees have been just playing dismal baseball. I mean, they've been dropping game after game after game, and they came dangerously close to choking away the division title to the Blue Jays and the Rays at one point. But so we're sitting here coming into the playoffs. The Yankees, they get a first round bye. The Astros get a first round bye because they had the two best records in the American League. They were Yankees were the number 2 seed, and the Astros were the number 1 seed because they had the best record in the American League by like 6.5 games or something like that. Anyway, games 1 and 2 were played here in Houston, and as a Red Sox fan, it was kind of a no-brainer as to who I was pulling for in that series, because I was like, all right, I'm damn sure not going to root for the Yankees. I would rather, I'd rather piss off Courtney Love and give her an opportunity to cash in on a life insurance policy, kind of a thing, right? So, I found myself rooting for the Astros, just like a lot of people in Red Sox Nation did, and a lot of people all over baseball. And because you've got, which is basically going to be the air, the shoe-in for the American League MVP title, Aaron Judge, coming in off of a brand new record-setting 62 home run, a regular season record. I mean, he led in every batting, every offensive category except for the batting title, and he lost that by 0.004. So, the Yankees were hyping it up, and I mean, they were ready, and they were just like, okay, we're going to get this monkey off our back. And then they come in, and Justin Verlander made him look stupid. I mean, just absolutely made him look stupid. Game 2 of Farmer Valdez, he comes in, he's the starting pitcher for New York, or for the Astros. And you could almost argue that he pitched a better all-around game than Justin Verlander did. And Justin Verlander embarrassed the Yankees. Even though the Yankees hung a couple of runs on him, he still embarrassed them, right? So Astros are up 2-0, and they go to New York. The Yankees fan base is like talking, we want Houston, we want. You've seen the videos where they're chanting, we want Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they get into Yankee Stadium.
Apparently they don't like freaking their own team.
Well, no, they're saying we want Houston because they're like, we're going to play anybody, we want to play the guys that cheated against us in 2017. Just like any other Yankees fan, it's easier to talk about how bad or how great the old teams were versus the new team, right?
Okay.
So they go in there, and the game 3 starter for Houston shuts them down, and they get blanked. I mean, 5-0 in game 3 to go up 3-0, right? And this is what I found funny. The Yankees called upon inspiration and help from the Red Sox to get the team motivated and to kind of inspire them to lead this charge, because only one team in sports history has come back from a 3-0 deficit in a best of 7 series to win, and that was the 2004 Red Sox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yankees fans, when they found out about this, went absolutely bonkers. I mean, they were, all right, the Hal Steinbrenner should step down as the owner. Aaron Boone needs to be fired. Brian Cashman, the general manager, needs to be hung in in Times Square. I mean,
So it was just another day in New York.
yeah, it was just another day, but the vitriol was amplified because you had the Boston Red Sox, their interdivision rival, the hated Boston Red Sox, right? Like, it's for me, it's like, okay, I mean, yes, I want to see my team win, but if we're having a craptastic year, I don't care about any of the other games, just beat the Yankees, right? And
Yeah.
if the Yankees are needing to beat us to do certain things in the playoffs or to get a certain seeding or to clinch this thing, I want us to be the spoiler kind of a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no interlocking NY or pinstripes that enter my house because that's blasphemy, right? You might as well just blaspheme the Lord, and you would probably be up better standing as far as the order of the universe is concerned. So the Yankees are looking to the Red Sox to give them inspiration. They even had Aaron Boone was addressing the team. He even called David Ortiz on FaceTime to try to give some kind of like motivational speech to the team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's not going to work. So, um, I mean, it's laughable. I mean, just the links going into Game 4 that the Yankees were willing to go to try to at least squeak out one victory in this whole series. Because now, I mean, they're looking at it because 3-1 or 4-1, 4 games to 1 sounds a lot better than you got swept 4 games to 0, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the nail in the coffin was pretty much already there for the Yankees because I mean they're not going to pull this series out like at all. I mean, they would have had to have gone on a 4-game run and beaten the Astros 4 games in a row to take that series. It. I mean, statistically speaking, it's not impossible. I mean, the Red Sox again, they proved that in 2004 whenever they beat the Yankees after having been down 3 games to 0. But what I found a little bit glaring was for all of the hype and all of the rhetoric and all of the trash talk that the Yankees fan base was giving everybody on the internet. If you look in the stands on the TV for Yankee Stadium, the attendance, dude, there was pockets of empty seats all over that ballpark. The tickets for Game 4 went from $219 down to like $20.
What?
Yeah, like nobody wanted to go to Game 4 at all. Nobody wanted to go to Game 4. And what I found funny about that is the fact that Game 4, the Yankees finally, their offense finally woke up. Lance McCullers Jr. comes in and he's pitching, and he's got an extra day's of rest because their last series win against the Mariners, somebody hit him in the elbow with a champagne bottle, and they wanted to take a little bit of precaution, and they bumped him back to Game 4.
Mm.
But so I mean, he's out there and he's struggling, dude. I mean, it is. I mean, the struggle bus was real for him, and I mean, he was getting some strikeouts and whatever, and he was getting some big outs, but just he just wasn't able to put together good, clean innings. And the bullpen finally come in and steps up, and they start shutting down the Yankees offense. And Jeremy Pena, who was eventually named the ALCS MVP, he's a rookie this year, and he is playing out his mind, dude. He ties the game with a 3-run home run, and then they were just back and forth. It was 4-4, or it was 4-3, and then 4-4, and then 5-4, and then 5-5, and then finally they put together. They pushed that sixth run. Houston finally pushes that sixth run across the plate. And then they bring in their closer, and they just shut him down to ultimately sweep the Yankees. So Do I feel dirty having rooted for the Astros? Yeah. Do I feel dirty feeling like I need to root for the Astros in the World Series because I can't stand Philadelphia? Yeah. But I mean, it's not the kind of dirty where I need to go bathe in holy water, boiling holy water. And, I just maybe need to go to church on Sunday, kind of a deal. But, it's, it's, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I know that I've given Houston a bunch of crap for the cheating scandal back in 2017, but this is a different squad, man. I mean, there's like four guys on that team that were on the roster back in 2017. So, I'm like, all right, whatever. This is a different team. But they're just fun to watch. There's really no big egos, so to speak, on that team. One of the biggest reasons why I'm rooting for Houston in this particular World Series because I want to see my boy Christian Vasquez get another World Series ring. Um, he was the catcher for Boston for a few years. He won the World Series with us in 2018. And I saw a post on one of my Red Sox Facebook pages yesterday, that was talking about, you know, yeah, the trade could have been handled a lot better, but through all the ups and downs and the pains of that trade, it's completely worth it to see that guy smiling again. And I'm telling you, there's pictures of him just having a blast in that dugout, and I'm happy for him. It's one of those things where I'll root for a guy that used to play for us if he's traded away. But if you're, like in the case of Jacoby Ellsbury, if you go directly from Boston to New York via the free agency, no, not only will I never wear your jersey again, but I will never speak your name again. I mean, it's almost like Voldemort, like, he should not, shall not be named kind of a deal.
Okay.
But I'm excited about this one. Games 1 and 2 are going to be here in Houston. 3, 4, and 5 are going to be in Philadelphia. But I mean, I tried to look at tickets for the World Series, and the cheapest seats that are available are $475 a piece.
Damn.
Like,
Even for
good
the
God.
bet tickets?
VetTix, they have not posted anything yet. Let me look here.
I'm sure someone will at least donate like a couple of tickets.
Oh God, I mean that would be amazing. Let me do something here real quick. Let me get logged into my VetTix page.
Okay, while you do that, let me see if I can find any news, even though I should have been looking at that beforehand. Da, 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 da. By the way, watch Black Adam this weekend. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think you're one of the few people that are saying that because I mean, the only reason why I'm remotely even excited for it is for the end credit scene, and I've already seen that on TikTok.
Yeah, but did you listen to it?
Yeah,
They did the John Williams Superman.
yeah.
That was freaking awesome.
And then I saw a teaser poster. I don't know if it was real or not, but it was a teaser poster for the Man of Tomorrow, which is the Man of Steel sequel.
There.
Because it was officially announced today that Harry Cavill is back as Superman.
After I look this up, I'll check it out.
Yeah, VetTex doesn't have anything, man. I've seen Texas Ranger tickets on that website. But I have never seen anything as far as Astros tickets. So, I don't know if, I mean, it's not VetTix, the organization. I mean, these different events and different venues and different clubs, like the Rangers or the Rockets, or the Cowboys or things like that. It's up to them to donate those tickets.
yeah.
So, um, Now, when it comes to the World Series or the NBA Finals or even the Final Four with the NCAA, I think that those are controlled by the governing body. So it's not necessarily the Astros, the Astros or the Astros box office, that releases those tickets. I think MLB has to do that. And Rob Manclown, aka Robert Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, he likes those nickels and dimes just a little bit, too much, I think. I mean, where you take the championship series of your body, Major League Baseball, and almost make it unaffordable. So, I mean, I just think that's. I mean, you're going to see a packed stadium regardless for however many games this series ends up going. But I don't know, man. It's I mean, I'm not faulting VetTix. I mean, VetTix has afforded me the opportunity to go to a lot of college football bowl games, like the Armed Forces Bowl, for the past several years. But I mean, we take that kind of stuff as it comes. But I'm if I'm going to make a prediction about this series, I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go 5 games. I think Houston's going to take this one 4-1, and they're going to clinch it in Game 5 on the 2nd of November in Philadelphia. I mean, no, that's that's Game 5. So, I think Houston, they're just one. They're out to kind of prove it to everybody that that they can play it clean, and it's it'll be fun to watch. It'll be a good series. The defense is going to be on point, I think, for a majority of the series. The offense is going to be, great at times, and other times it's just these innings are just going to click off because the pitching is just that good. But yeah, I look for Houston to win this one. And I say that kind of sort of begrudgingly, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy Houston Astros gear, and I'm never going to, I'm true to I'm true to my squad, man. It's one of those, I'm a Red Sox fan till the day I die kind of a thing. But I mean, this particular version of this team, the 2022 Houston Astros, they're just a fun team to watch. I mean, everybody comes to work, and what I found funny about the the Yankees getting swept the way that they did, they became the first team in Major League history to strike out 50 plus times while getting swept.
Damn.
Yeah, their bats were absolute dog water, dude. Mm-hmm. Just absolute dog water. But there's going to be a lot of a lot of baseball news that's going to come out as far as like managers, player moves, and stuff like that. But generally, the rule of thumb is that no big announcements are made until after the World Series is concluded. Now, I know that in December, we've got the winter meetings where all the general managers and the agents and players, they just kind of congregate to one city, whatever city is hosting it this year. And that's where a lot of the free agent deals are being made. That's where a lot of contract extensions are being signed, things of that nature. So, it's going to be, I mean, it's called the hot stove season for a reason. And then there's going to be a lot of hot stove news. I think this winter, there's going to be a lot of contract extensions that need to get signed. There's a lot of free agents that are going to be looking for a place to go. And it's going to be interesting.
Didn't last time it took almost like 3 extra months only because of the basic fact of
they had the collective bargaining agreement. Yeah, it was the players union and the owners not agreeing on stuff.
Yeah. But so is that all for baseball? We're going off to the NFL.
Yeah.
The only sports news that I found that was kind of
all right. I sent that to the wrong. No, I sent that sent that text to you. Don't worry. Disregard that. I was trying to get a hold of Colin.
Okay. I'm not looking at it. The only
Okay.
sports news I have is a couple of the sports players that are connected with Kanye West because of the anti-Semitic stuff that he was been spurting about.
Yeah, I mean, just when you think Kanye West is kind of a normal human being, he goes off and spouts something like that. But I mean, I haven't heard. I've read snippets
It,
of
I'm
what's going
still
on.
not
I haven't
trusting
heard any recordings. I haven't seen any video. So I'm not entirely sure.
it. It was on. I think it was just on Twitter, and I'm
Okay,
just he needs help. He really
he
does.
does. Just kind of like Britney Spears needs help.
Yeah.
But I mean, eh, I don't know, man. Those
It's,
two.
some people shouldn't be should just give up on social media so nobody sees what
Well,
kind of
okay, so
things
like
they're dealing with.
with Britney Spears, I mean, she's constantly posing naked, and then like I think I read earlier, uh, this on
Uh,
her Twitter page that there was basically a sex tape that's going to get dropped, and I'm like, huh, okay, so that happened, and and I kind of look at, all right, so Miley Cyrus, right?
hmm,
She goes from, she goes from Hannah Montana to this, being released from her Disney contract. And then she's just so preoccupied and concerned with shedding that goody two shoes, persona that, she swung for the fences and she made contact and she went way out into left field. I mean, it's to the point, like she went so far out there that it was to the point where it just, you knew that she was just doing it for shock value, but you were like, enough is enough already. And don't get me wrong. I mean, both of these individuals, you know, uh, talking about Miley Cyrus and Britney Spears, they're both adults. I mean, they're
well,
both
Miley
grown women.
Cyrus, she actually she ended up just giving up on. She's from what last time I heard, she's sober now. She doesn't do anything that she doesn't
Well, I
drink.
mean, if that's the case, then hey, good for her. But I think what we're witnessing is, as far as Britney Spears is concerned, I think what we're witnessing is um, a rebellious phase. And
It's lasted quite a long time.
it has, man. But you think about how many years she spent under the thumb of her dad and his management company.
Was it her dad
And
or was it his mom? Who's the mom?
uh dude, I don't even know. I mean, that would just, I mean, if I had that information, that would just show you that I spent way too much time and energy,
Yeah.
All right, so before we jump into the NFL, um
Yeah.
it's a school night, so I'm gonna get a hold of Colin real quick, and we're gonna do our joke time with Colin segment. So give me just a second.
Don't forget you gotta unhook everything because it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, hey, bud. Why? David, can you hear him?
I can barely hear you.
Hold on. Yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting I got to turn off my microphone. All right. Say hi, Colin.
Hi.
David, can you hear him now?
Yeah, I can hear him perfectly good now.
All right, cool. All right, let me get you set up here real quick, Colin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an early edition, earlier than normal. But again, as I stated, it's a school night. So, everybody, boys, girls, men, women, children of all ages, and angry faithful to be sure, this is my genetic code, coming to you loud, fast, for your eye holes and ear holes' enjoyment. It's joke time with Colin. Go ahead, bud.
Okay, the son asks his mom, Mom, what do women and pools have in common? Mom says what? Son says, They both cost a lot of money to maintain for the amount of time you're inside them.
I love that joke. I love that joke.
Oh man.
That was awesome.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong. No, definitely not wrong. Definitely not wrong on that.
Oh boy.
Definitely not wrong.
All right, bud.
Playing the new campaign.
Oh, that's right. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is out.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Bro, the graphics are so good. It's like almost real life looking. I swear.
Okay, well, I'll queue it up on my Series X
Yeah,
probably
and
tomorrow.
love having Ghost and Price back,
All right, bud. Well, I'll let you get back to it. I'll call you guys later, probably tomorrow. I don't know what time. It may be a little bit too late for me to call after I'm done recording tonight, but I'll give you guys a call later. I love you guys, and you guys have a good day tomorrow, okay? All right, later, bud. All right. So, why did no, hold on. Why is my closed captioning? Why is it on? Holy cow.
I don't know. I don't turn that shit on.
Okay, there it goes. I'm like, no. Okay, let me get wired for sound again.
Okay.
Okay, now we're back. All right. See, this way it sounds a little bit better, and I can use my deep radio voice. Yeah, let's move into football news here real quick. Let me get over to the right page. All right, and then let me pull up the notes from last week.
You actually do notes now?
Listen, I don't need your lip, okay? Okay, so I don't think our picks did horrible, but the ones we got wrong, we really got wrong. Okay, so we're going to start at the top here. We had the Saints over the Cardinals, and the Cardinals showed out, and beat the Saints 34 to 42. Now we had the Ravens over the Browns. We picked that one correctly. The Ravens beat the Browns 23-20, but that game was kind of funky because I saw a lot of videos during the week about a particular false start call that was called against the Browns, and it was on a field goal.
Really?
Right? Long snapper is allowed to move his head. He's allowed to move his head down to see where he's snapping the ball. He did that, and 2 or 3 Baltimore Raven players jumped, which would have meant normally that they were offsides. Apparently, the referees didn't see it that way. They called a false start penalty against the Browns, backed them up 5 yards. And I think that was probably the nail in the coffin for the Browns that particular day, because it pushed them just a little bit outside the field goal range. Nonetheless, Cleveland walked out of Baltimore with taking the L. So, all right, cool. We had the Buccaneers beating Carolina. Oh my God, no. 21-3 Carolina. I couldn't even begin to tell you where that game went horribly wrong. We had the Bengals over the Falcons. We picked that one correctly. So Cincinnati beat them 35-17. And then we had the Cowboys over the Lions. Now that game, I listened to that game. That final score was 24-6, but it wasn't as close as you think. I mean, it wasn't as bad of a beatdown as you would think. It was actually a really close game for 3 quarters. I think what really turned the game around was when Tavon Diggs intercepted a pass from Jared Goff, the quarterback for Detroit. But I mean, that was a defensive game. I mean, the defense won that game hands down. It was Dak Prescott's first game back under center after coming back from injury. Definitely out of sync. He's got to get those reps in, and I mean, he's got to knock the rust off, man. I mean, the only time that we've really seen him this year prior to this last game on Sunday was for like 2.5 very bad quarters on week 1. And that was, I mean, when they were playing Tampa Bay, and he was bad, dude. I mean, he was horrible. He was a little bit sharper on Sunday, but not by much. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get better, but I don't know. The Cowboys at this point in the season, unless Philadelphia, who's 6-0 right now, starts kind of forgetting how to play football. You know, I think Dallas is probably best served playing for a wild card spot to get into the playoffs. And if they want to go to the Super Bowl this year, they're going to have to do it the hard way. So moving on, we had the Giants picked to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they did that 23-17. It looked a little hairy at first in the first half, but New York came out of the locker room firing on all cylinders, and they ended up pulling away. We had the Titans beating the Colts. We picked that one correctly. 19-10 Tennessee on that one. We had Green Bay over Washington, and we got that one wrong. Green Bay lost 21-23. So we would just take the loss on that one. Now, I told you that the Jets were going to go in and beat up on the Broncos, didn't I?
Yeah.
The Jets did that 16-9. Russell Wilson is also hurt now, the quarterback for Denver. So it's not going to get much better for Denver. We had the Raiders beating Houston. Houston went into Las Vegas to play the Raiders on their home field, and the Raiders won 38-20. I had the Chargers over the Seahawks. I got that one wrong. Seattle ended up winning in LA 37-23. We had the Chiefs over the 49ers. That one was 44-23 Kansas City. I had the Steelers over Miami, and Miami jumped up and bit Pittsburgh right in the butt, 16-10. And then we had New England over the Bears. Chicago shows up in New England, of all places, and wins 33-14. Let me tell you, that was wicked pissa right there. And it was complete shit. The Pats, they just shit the bed. That's what they did. I mean, the Bears come in there and they put the boots to them, and it was fucking horrible. It was embarrassing is what it was. So all in all, let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games wrong.
I messed you up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did. Like, I have no idea what you mean there.
Oh, no, nothing. It's nothing bad. I just don't want to say it on the show.
Right. Okay.
Because I forgot to tell you, since we were supposed to chat last week and we didn't get a chance. And I was like, he's probably got something big going on last week, because we were supposed to do the Psychos and Sociopaths, and you ended up having something to do. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it myself. Which I got.
Yeah,
Mitch,
my bad, man.
I got Mitch to do it. And it was a hell of a good episode, because
I got you.
Doing funny shit while we were doing it.
All right, so let's go into move my microphone back here so that way people can actually hear me. All right, man, we're already on week 8. We're halfway through the season already. So I mean, it's weird. It's just okay. So let's get over here. All right, first Thursday night football. The Ravens are going to go into Tampa Bay.
I want to see the magic stuff when you do this.
Huh?
I want to see the magic stuff when you do this.
Oh, you're just going to sit back and watch. Okay.
Yeah.
The Ravens are going to be playing Tampa Bay. Normally I go with Tom Brady, but he just doesn't got me. I'm just not convinced with him right now. So
I think the divorce is hitting the toll on him.
yeah, I mean,
His
he's
goat
got some
powers
personal
are
stuff
going
obviously
away.
going on.
His goat powers are going away.
Well, it's not that his goat powers are going away. I think that whatever Voodoo Giselle was doing. I mean, I think it was a troll meme, but like somebody had said that Pete Davidson was seen on a Miami beach walking with Giselle. And I'm like, oh, that can't be real.
I don't know. It's something about Pete Davis. I don't.
Dude, from what I hear,
Now, from what I hear,
I mean, allegedly, if we're gonna use a Letterkenny reference here. But we got Baltimore coming into Tampa Bay. I'm gonna
these must hurt.
take the Ravens over the Bucks. I'm just, I don't know, for whatever reason, I want to be wrong on that one, but I mean, if Tampa Bay shows up and they show out, great. I'll take the loss on that one, but I'm going to pick Baltimore this week, just because the Buccaneers, I mean, there's something going on. They're not playing football the way that they know, the way that they've been known to play it. And I'm just like, I'm not convinced. So, Broncos at the Jaguars.
Yeah, a blank screen now. It's not weird.
Do what?
I just love how this does. It's so cool.
So right now, all right. So with as much turnover at the quarterback position that Denver's got going on right now with Russell Wilson being hurt, they call her back up in. I'm willing to sell. I'm buying into the Broncos this week, and I'm completely sold out on the Jags. I mean, I don't want it to be one of those situations where we pick the Broncos to win and then they don't. Remember last season that every time we picked the Broncos to win, they didn't. And then when we didn't pick them to win, they did. So,
yeah, we're horrible at this. I mean, I keep on telling everybody, use the list in reverse because we're horrible at this.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Some of these are very intelligent picks, right? I mean, I sit here and I do my homework on it. I mean, so legitimately, I do my homework on it. I look at the trends. I look at what the experts are doing. I look at the point spreads. I look at the over under stuff like that. I look at the injury reports. I mean, I do put some kind of effort into this. I don't just sit here and go.
No, I know you do that, but for some ungodly reason, the stars align just right. It's like, I'm going to do some research and just go at it, and the stars align up. It's like, go fuck yourself, guys.
Well, here's the thing. We're not allowed to bet here in Texas using those bet apps like Caesars or Sportbook or or DraftKings or whatever. We can't use those here. So I don't make money at this.
Supposed to.
All right, so we got Carolina at the Falcons. This is this week's game. This is going to be week 8's personification of mediocrity. So I'll even go as far as to say the Falcons are probably going to win this game, but look to whoever scores 21 points first. So we're going to take the Falcons over the Panthers. No, you don't like that? Look, don't get it twisted just because the Panthers beat Green Bay last week. I mean, any given Sunday, anybody can win for whatever reason. Next we've got the Bears at the Cowboys. I know that the Bears came in and their defense showed up in New England, but New England's not exactly playing Brady ball at this point. They got Mac
I'm
Jones
still
in
going
there.
with the Bears. I'm going with the
Think
Bears.
you're going to take the Bears on this
I'm
one?
going to take the Bears.
Oh, well, I'm going to take the Cowboys on this one. I mean, you can put your little caveat in there whenever you post this up on our page, but I think the Cowboys are going to show up. Dak Prescott's going to get a week's worth of practice in, a week's worth of reps in, and him and the wide receiver core, the tight end core, they're going to get on the same page as far as the passing routes are going to be concerned. I don't really believe in and the reason why I'm taking the Bears is because I'm not sold on their offense right now.
Mm.
Yeah, they put up 33 points in New England. But New England, again, is not the New England that we have all come to know. Okay. This is not the dynasty version of New England. This is a team that was attempting to rebuild and they've hit a plateau for whatever reason. Okay. So yeah, they're going to put up 33 points, and yeah, their defense only allowed 10 points, but how much of it that was the defense, suffocating the New England offense, and how much of it was the New England offense not clicking the way that it's supposed to. Okay. So I'm taking the Bears over the Cowboys on this one, specifically for the reason of the defense. All right. The Dallas defense with DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, even the seemingly at times overrated, Leighton Vander Esch at linebacker. I mean, you got Tavon Diggs over there on the corner. I mean, it's just, I think that the pass rush of the Dallas Cowboys defense being run by Dan O'Quinn, I think it's going to be too much for Chicago. Because with Micah Parsons alone, they're going to line him up everywhere. I mean, there's been a couple of games where he's been lined up in 4 different positions, and he's made an impact on every one of those plays. So, I'm not sold on the offensive line for Chicago, but I am going to go with the Cowboys on this one because it is a Cowboys home game, and it's going to be Dak Prescott's second game back. So look for him to be a little bit sharper. The running game of Zeke Elliott and Pollard. I mean, it's a 1-2 punch. And so, I mean, you're starting to see little flashes of vintage Ezekiel Elliott. And then you got Pollard on the other side. I mean, he's explosive, he's quick. And I mean, I like the Cowboys' chances on this one. The Chicago defense is going to have their hands full because they're either going to be focused on trying to stop the run, which is going to open up the passing lanes. You're going to see a lot of man-to-man coverage in the secondary for Chicago. And it's going to be too much. Now, granted, Dallas doesn't necessarily have the deep threats like they normally would, like Amari Cooper, or even, old school Dez Bryant. But I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a pretty decent game. Brown, he had a critical fumble in the red zone last Sunday against the Lions, but I look for their receiver core to kind of really clean that up. And the Dallas defense is just, I mean, I'm willing to bet that the Dallas defense is probably going to get about 3 or maybe 4 or 5 sacks. And I know that's a big number, but again, I'm not sold on the Chicago offensive line. And I think that between Lawrence and Parsons, I mean, it's going to be a feeding frenzy. So it just look for Justin Fields to be running for his life for a majority of the day on Sunday. So, but moving on, we're looking at the Dolphins at the Lions. Begrudgingly going to take the Dolphins on this one. Everybody was talking about how the Lions, I mean, if you look at the scores from the previous 7 weeks, with the exception of last Sunday, And well, with the exception of 2 weeks, right? The week before last, Detroit got planked, for like 49-0 or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was a horrible fucking game.
Dude, it was way bad. But I think coming off of this loss in Dallas for Detroit, their offensive line and their running game was really exposed. And teams all around the league are going to look at that. They're going to look at film from that game, and they're going to be like, okay, I see what Dallas did here, and they're going to try to replicate that with their own defensive packages. So, I'm like, okay, but I think we're going to take. I think we're going to take Miami on this one. And then we've got the Cardinals going into the Vikings. They're going to be playing in Minnesota. Yeah, I know that the Cardinals pulled the upset basically when they beat New Orleans last week, but I don't see them going 2 in a row. I see the Vikings taking this one. I don't know why it came up as a 9 instead of whatever. Okay. I cannot type today.
That was funny. I looked at that and was like, is he trying to tell me something?
Right. I mean, he's saying something. I see he's saying words, but
It's almost as funny as when that old joke that's been going around. It's like watching too much porn causes your brain to mess up. And I'm like, hey, birds. What? Birds.
like, oh wait, there's audible sounds here. You don't have to watch it on mute, right? Is that what's kind of where you were going with that?
No, it's just I'm being stupid.
Okay. All right. So now we've got the Raiders going into New Orleans. I'm not sold on New Orleans at all. I'm not even really sold on the Raiders, but the Raiders seem to have it.
Bringing a little bit of their game.
Yeah, I mean they've been upping it a little bit. I'm looking for Las Vegas to roll into New Orleans and come out with a win on that one.
Well, also New Orleans hasn't been doing that great.
Oh no, they've been playing like absolute garbage. And then we've got the New England Patriots going up to the Meadowlands to play the New York Football Jets. And as much as it pains me, I'm taking the Jets over the Patriots. Look, New York, the players on that roster are starting to believe. And that is a dangerous thing. They enjoy their system. They think that their system is working. It is, because if you look at their standing, their record, obviously they're playing winning football right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm not jumping on the. I mean, I know that I despise everything New York, but I got to take the Jets on this one because they're just playing better. I mean, and right now, I mean, I'm even looking. I mean, the Jets aren't going to win their division because they're having to compete against Buffalo. So I'm like, but just like the Cowboys, the Jets are going to get in, but they're going to get on the strength of a wild card. And I think that that's going to be good enough to take them at least, 1 or 2 rounds. I mean, they'll get to the divisional game. They'll get to divisional weekend. They'll get past the wild card weekend in the playoffs. But you never know. So, I mean, but again, I'm taking the Jets this week just because of the caliber of football that you're seeing come out of the Jets. I mean, they're giving Jets fans something to finally cheer for after years of just striving for mediocrity and then failing miserably by hitting your head on the bar. I mean, that's all it is. The Steelers are going into Philadelphia. I hate saying this, but fly, Eagle, fly. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to beat up on the Steelers. I mean,
yeah, Steelers have. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, and this past couple of years they haven't been really shining off too much.
Yeah. All right. So the Tennessee Titans are coming into Houston this weekend to play the Houston Texans at home at the NRG Stadium. Neither one of these teams are impressing me this year, but I'm going to take the Titans over the Texans. I just am. I know that Houston's coming off of a bye week, or no, they played this last week, but yeah, no. To me, it just this. I mean, you're looking at the former Houston Oilers coming in and playing the new team in Houston. So I mean, it's just the Titans are going to come in.
That's
They're
been
not
a
necessarily-
while, bro.
Oh, I know.
The
But
team is they've
Let it
got
go.
rid of
Let
all
it go.
the
I'm getting there. Okay.
okay.
I'm not sold on Houston at all. I mean, when on week one of the season against the Colts, you're going to give up a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's like, not only did you just put it into cruise control, but you forgot to set it at the speed limit for the interstate. I mean, really,
the whole tie thing.
you know, it's the tie, you know, and yeah, I mean, they've cracked the win column since, but I mean, who are they playing here? I mean, the AFC South is quite arguably probably the worst division in football. It's just the worst division in football. It really is. But moving on, the Commanders at the Colts.
Honestly, I would have to take the
the Commanders.
Yeah. I mean, they did a whirlwind this weekend.
I'm just like, okay. All right. So prove me wrong. Washington is going to win this week over the Colts. Prove me wrong. I dare you, man. I'm looking right at you, Dan Snyder. Every owner in the league wants you out, but for whatever reason, you're just choosing to die on that hill. Prove me wrong this week, please.
Yeah, because I really don't give a shit about the fucking Commanders.
I don't. I legitimately don't care about this game. This is probably one of those games. It's a primetime game. I mean, it's going to be the game of the week on Fox, and I'm just like, this is one of those games that could be just, you know, better played in an email.
Yeah.
I mean, they what they need to do is they need to go and they need to hook an Xbox or a PlayStation up to the big screen, you know, up at Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis. Turn on Madden and have Madden 23 simulate the game.
You know, that wouldn't be half bad.
I mean, it would probably be a whole lot more entertaining than the actual players being on the team or on the field because it's on the dining table.
He blind.
You know, I mean, the graphics are going to look a lot better. You're like, but it's a video game and that's real life. I understand that. But you're basically going to give both teams an additional week off. The only thing that we're asking them to do is to just show up, sit on the sidelines, and have yourselves a bucket of popcorn and just watch yourself playing on Madden. I mean, at least at that point, the fans for both teams have a reason to cheer.
Yeah.
So, I know. I mean, people are going to be listening to this show and they're going to be like, that's a hot take. I'm like, yeah, let's see how it works out for us, Cotton. The 49ers are going to go in to play the Rams. The Rams are kind of lost right now. I mean, a little Bo Peep does not give a crap enough to go look for her. We're going to take the 49ers. over the Rams on this one because I mean the 49ers have already proven once that they can go into SoFi Stadium and give LA a run for its money. And that was the LA version of LA that had Von Miller on its defense last year before Von Miller took the trade and went elsewhere. But I mean, Von Miller is playing in Buffalo now. And Buffalo's got a great defense. So Sam Darnold can't carry that team by himself. Matt Stafford played lights out last year. He is reverting back to Detroit version Matt Stafford this year. He can't hit an open receiver to save his life. And he kind of seems like he's struggling out there. He's guessing at the coverages. And you know, I'm not sold. I'm just really not sold. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that I don't like the Rams. It's the fact that they're just not giving
Not their
anybody,
A game.
let alone their fan base, a reason to believe in them right now.
Hell, I don't even think they're believing in themselves.
Did you type something in there, Falcons over the Knights?
Yeah. November 5th. November 5th.
Dude, you're on the wrong week, bud, and there's no football team called the Knights.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, the Falcons over the Knights. Oh, look, my wife got it before I did. Look, dude. Look. The Air Force Academy Falcons are not going to beat the Black Knights of the Army. They're just not going to do it. Army is going to retain the commander-in-chief.
We have our yearly gentleman's bet.
Okay, so what's on the what are we wagering this year?
I'm going dresses.
Dresses. What does my lovely wife think about that? Oh my God, she's not helping. She gave me a thumbs up. Okay, fine. All right.
I'm gonna tell Chris that weekend because I'm gonna tell him.
Wait, is he gonna actually show up and be on the show next week?
He's been busy. There's a lot of stuff that
I don't care. I don't want to hear that.
He
needs to make an appearance as a fellow infantryman, as a brother, as a blue cord.
Well, he will be on
as a member. As a member of the Eternal Fraternity of the Blue Cord, he needs to show up the day, or for the show after the Air Force game, and definitely needs to show up for the show after the Army Navy game. That's all there is to it.
Yes, that is definitely true.
Okay. So I need him to confirm that he's going to be there, because if he's not going to be there, then nobody has to wear a dress.
That's not fair to you.
How is it not fair to me?
Because I think you look sexy in a dress. Now I think your wife wants to see this, so you need to
she
call up.
Really doesn't.
Yeah, I think she absolutely wants to see this. And
do you have access to a dress?
I can get access to a dress.
I'm not talking about your
sexify it too.
Catholic schoolgirl cosplay dress either. I'm talking a dress.
Like a sundress, man. That shit's gonna won't show anything.
No. See, a $20 sundress leads to about $70,000 worth of child support. So I'm not going to let you get off that easy.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I can probably get a dress. I don't know if I want to put it on, but I can get a dress.
All right. So for the record, it's what's on the line here is that Army is going to be playing Air Force at AT&T Stadium next weekend.
I think so. But November 5th, I'm going to be down in Fort Worth. Me and Chris are going to meet up there, and we're going to do What the hell for Vet Fest DFW.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get all the last time Mike Kipelak, he was the one that fucking told me, he was like, dude, Army won. What? No. I had to dress up like that. But anyways,
Army also put up over 40 points this past Saturday.
maybe I want to change my bet.
No, man.
think that check. I think that check kind of
Oh,
yeah, it's
oh.
gonna clear. I don't think that check's gonna clear.
To quote Top Gun, your mouth's writing bodies, your check can't, or your ego's writing checks, your body can't cash.
Pretty much. I have no qualms with the hopes and dreams. I don't really. Well, I'm gonna put this up. God.
All right, I tell you what, we'll put a pin in the wager, but we'll figure out something. It may not have to be dresses. We'll figure out something. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so back to the NFL, everybody. Like it, dude, I mean, that fucked me up so bad. I'm sitting there looking at the screen and I'm like, Falcons over the Knights. What? And I'm like, no. See, you were using the old Apple Magic against me, and it just threw me for a loop. Okay, so the New York Football Giants are going to be going up to Seattle. I'm just going to say the Giants over the Seahawks on this one. I want to be wrong on this because for all of the other NFC East teams that lose every time the Cowboys win, it just makes our playoff, or makes their playoff hopes that much brighter, kind of a thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll see. This game, the Sunday night game, is going to be a good one, I think. The Packers are going to Buffalo to play the Bills, and while it's going to be a good game to watch, I think ultimately the Bills are going to beat the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is going to do his best to do his best Aaron Rodgers impression, and he's going to hit some really great passes. The running game is going to get a little bit of traction, but I think that the Buffalo defense is going to be too much, and the Buffalo offense is going to be just they're going to outrun the Green Bay defense.
Oh.
What did you do? Why did you delete that?
I didn't delete it on purpose. I accidentally hit the cut instead of the copy.
Yeah, leave shit alone. Oh my God. All right, Monday night, the Battle of Ohio. Cincinnati's going to go to Cleveland. I think you know where I'm going to go with this. Bengals over the Browns all day long. And I don't even think it's going to be that close of a game. I truly, honestly don't. I think that the Bengals are going to win by at least 14. As fact, I'm going to say, I'm going to go with 14 points. I'm going to give Cincinnati 2 touchdowns. That's all there is to it. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, what kind of CBD is he smoking? Well, look, kids, this guy doesn't do CBD. It doesn't end well. So I learned my lesson. This week we've got just 2 teams on a bye week. We got the Chiefs and the Chargers. So the Chargers are guaranteed not to lose, and the Chiefs are guaranteed not to win their game because, let's face it, they're not playing. Moving on to NASCAR news real quick. We are going to, where's the next race? Holy crap. Martinsville, short track racing. It's a cutoff race. The series has got 2 weeks left. Martinsville and then Phoenix right after that. Phoenix is the championship weekend. Kyle Larson won this past week at Miami Homestead in very convincing fashion. So, I mean, right now we're looking at currently the top 4 drivers: Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, William Byron. Chase Elliott, William Byron are both Hendrick Motorsports drivers. Ross Chastain drives #1 Camaro for Trackhouse Racing, and Joey Logano, unfortunately, has already punched his ticket to Phoenix when he won at Las Vegas. So I'm like, fine, all right, great, Joey Logano. Woo. Right now it's still a field of 8. So numbers 5 through 8 are Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, and Chase Briscoe. Right now, though, I look for Chase Briscoe to get eliminated. He's 44 points back from the cut line. I mean, literally, there's 10 points that separate 4th from 5th in the standings, and that, I mean, that fluctuates heavily during the course of a race. I would love to see Ryan Blaney get in, because I even though he drives for Roger Penske and he's teammates to Joey Logano, I like Ryan Blaney. He's a great personality. He's an amazing driver. He's got a ton of skill, but I'm looking for Chase Elliott to advance on points. I'm looking for William Byron to possibly get in. I William Byron's going to have an amazing run at Martinsville, and unfortunately, I think Denny Hamlin is better at that track. Of course, that's not withstanding, because I mean, things do happen at Martinsville. Short track racing breeds accidents, man. I mean, it really does. If William Byron's going to get in, he's going to have to score top 5. Pure, plain and simple. He's going to have to score top 5, and he's going to have some distance as far as positions are concerned. I think, conservatively speaking, he's going to have a top 5, and Denny Hamlin's going to have to finish at least 5 positions behind him. William Byron's also going to have to go out and get him some stage points. So he's going to have to contend all day long. He's going to have to win a couple of stages. He's going to have to win at least one stage and place in the top 10, in stage 2, kind of a thing, or vice versa. Place top 10, get some stage points, stage 1, maybe win stage 2, or the other way around. But William Byron needs to finish in the top 5 of that race in order for him to advance on points. Chase Elliott's going to have a seriously, solid day. He had a huge point lead with his 6 victory, or not 6 victories. I mean, he had like 5 or 6 wins this year. So, I mean, he had a cushion going into this round of 8, and he had a terrible week at Las Vegas. He had a better finish last week in Miami, but his points lead completely evaporated. He's 11 points above the cut line. Ross Chastain is 19 points above the cut line, and then obviously Joey Logano, he's already advanced. So it's really, points matter as far as 2 through 4. So Denny Hamlin's going to go all Denny Hamlin, and he's going to go through people to try to gain positions, to gain points, to try to win this race. As much as I don't like Ross Chastain, I think he is going to advance. Chase Elliott's going to advance on points. The wild card there is going to be Ryan. I mean, the 3 drivers to look for on Sunday is going to be William Byron in the 24, Denny Hamlin in the 11, and Ryan Blaney in the 12. It's really going to be on those 3 guys, is to see who grabs that last spot. We've had 19 different winners this year, which is tied a series record for a single season. If Ryan Blaney pulls off the win on Sunday in Martinsville, that'll be a new record, 20 separate winners over the course of the season. And this is why they formatted the playoffs the way that they did. So, I mean, you could win and be guaranteed a spot, but at the end of this regular season, you know, if you're tied with somebody for wins, they've got tiebreakers in place. I mean, it's like average finish, things like that. So, I really want to see William Byron race for a championship in Phoenix. So I would like for him to get in. You know, I would like to see him. I would obviously like to see him win this race, but I think Chase Elliott's going to advance on points. I think Ross Chastain's going to advance on points unless he wrecks out early and has a bad day, which would open up a spot for somebody else like Denny Hamlin or maybe even Ryan Blaney. But I don't know, man. I know Chase Elliott's going to advance at least. I want to see William Byron get in and race for a championship, because if you look at his story, like where he came from, you know, coming up through the sport. I mean, he owns an esports racing team on with the iRacing, the iRacing series. NASCAR recognizes the winner of the Drivers World series on the iRacing servers as a NASCAR champion, because I mean, you've got to do everything. You have to have a spotter. I mean, you have to set your virtual car up. I mean, these guys run full length races and they run for points. And
I wonder how hard it
if I
is.
remember correctly, the winner of that
How
series,
hard is it to get into one of those?
to get into the Drivers World Series, you have to be invited. So you have to really, just like in the real world, you have to work your way up. I mean, you gotta work your way up through the ranks. But William Byron, he owns an esports team, and he has a driver that drives for him in that series. And I say he's a team owner, but he's a virtual car owner. So I mean, he basically pays entry fee and subscription fees for this guy, and this guy has to he's got to put in the time. He's got to run practice laps. He's got to run practice races. I mean, the guys that run this iRacing, they're basically behind their computer screens 5-6 days a week running races, virtual races. And you know, so I mean there's a lot of those guys that go live on TikTok and when they're running the races. And I mean, the way that the physics are set up on this for iRacing, it's pretty damn realistic. I mean, it's almost 1-for-1 virtual versus real world. So I mean, there's been a lot of talk where like there's a guy, he's got like a ton of wins in iRacing. His name is Timmy Hill.
Mm-hmm.
He drives in the actual Xfinity series and some cup starts because he runs as well as he does in the iRacing series, and those skills are transferable to the real life counterparts. So I mean, it's fun to watch, man. iRacing came out and they announced, because Dale Earnhardt Jr. Has been championing this iRacing for years, like since they were first coming out in like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And they surprised him. They announced this week, or last week rather, that they're naming the championship trophy after him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Championship Trophy. And so they gave Dale Earnhardt Jr. the opportunity to design the trophy. So he sat down on a Zoom call with the designers, right? The design team for this championship trophy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying, you know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is big on nostalgia, right? So he was trying to hint at what he wanted without actually coming out and saying what he wanted to the design team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he eventually just he's like, look, he typed out, he Googled up a picture of the old Winston Cup champion trophy, right? His dad won 7 of them. He goes, this is what I want. And it's a real life trophy. And I mean, it probably weighs close to 60 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah. So the winner of that series, they get like a $200,000 payout,
Not bad.
and they get invited to the awards banquet at the end of the season where they're presented with their trophy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a I mean, it's a big deal. So I mean, I'm like, wow, that's um, Dale Earnhardt Jr. announced it on his download last week, and he was just like, yeah, sucks to be you, Cup drivers, you can't win this.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, it's a cool looking trophy, man. I mean, it looks so much like an old Winston Cup trophy, and I'm like, man, that's the tits right there. But yeah, so the but William Byron, I mean, he got a job working for Hendrick Motorsports as a sim driver. They would put simulated setups on the cars, and he would run the simulator for the different teams, the 4 different cars at Hendrick Motorsports, and give them real-time data as far as the simulations were concerned to help the car chiefs and crew chiefs set the car up for race day, for race weekend. And he would run dirt cars, and he would run in the Xfinity series for JR Motorsports, was his juniors team. And finally, when Jeff Gordon decided that he was going to retire, they announced that William Byron was going to fill that seat. So they gave him his shot, and he's got a few wins, and he's a solid contender, man. I mean, he's got a lot of talent, and he's young, so he's going to be in that seat for a very long time, as long as he can, as long as he can continue to produce. And I would love to see the 24 car get another championship. I would love to see that. Chase Elliott, obviously, he's already won the championship a couple years ago. I would love to see him get his second points championship. I don't necessarily want Ross Chastain to win, but if it came down between Ross Chastain and Joey Logano, Ross Chastain can be all Ross Chastain, and he can put Joey Logano on the wall if it means that Joey Logano doesn't win the championship. I mean, it's just all there is to it. I cannot stand Joey Logano. I mean, the guy, he's done some classy things, but for the most part, he's just, I mean, he just kind of has that face where you just want to walk up and punch him right in the nose.
All right. Well, I guess that's about it for this week. Check us out.
The nerd sports side of it. The nerd side of it. The trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out.
I wasn't too excited for that. I was actually more excited.
Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, I seen the trailer. It looked nice. It looked spectacular. It had like flashy lights and everything. But I was just like, I'm the Marvel hype is gone with me now, unfortunately. But
on that's Marvel just because you're coming off of this. No, it's because you're coming off of this like estrogen fueled post Dwayne Johnson high after having seen Black Adam.
I mean, it was really funny, but I want to get that, and I wasn't really impressed with the Ant-Man and the Wasp all too much, because I didn't like how they did Ghost. Ghost was a badass thief in the comics.
Yeah, but this isn't while they may take story arcs from the comics, and this is the MCU, and this is the multiverse phase. So
yeah, I got that. But in the Marvel standing, though, I am very interested in seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. I really want to watch that.
Oh, please let it be. Let it be.
Watch the trailer right now.
I want it to be an homage to the Star Wars holiday special.
No, it's just watch the trailer.
All right, hold on.
Watch the trailer. It's like a minute long. I don't know if we can do the sound, but oh well.
Holiday special. Okay.
And there's actually a lot of stuff that because Silver Surfer, they're doing like special events like they did with Werewolf by Night. I liked Werewolf by Night.
Here we go.
what did we call it? Hulu plus live TV plus plus plus.
That's dumb. Where we're gonna go with.
Sorry, folks. This is Johnny's watching the video.
Hold on. Let me mute you here. Hold on.
There we go. Johnny's watching the video. He's hopefully he gets to the part where it's freaking hilarious. He's very tentative with it. He's smiling in such a way that he's like a little schoolgirl, finally gently getting the excitement of the new boy. Yeah, he's not going to hear this. He doesn't listen to the show, so everybody's going to get a laugh out of this. I'm going to put it on TikTok. Who knows? Johnny's laughing heavily because he's gotten to the Kevin Spacey part of the trailer. Or Kevin Bacon. I apologize. I can't hear you. Yeah, you got to unmute it. Unmute it. Unmute it.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold. Okay.
The Kevin Bacon part.
That's definitely going to be something that graces my TV.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I mean, Kevin Bacon alone. Come
Yeah.
on. I mean, really? Come on, man. Seriously. You know what? I am sorry for the Star Wars, reference remark, but bro, yes, so much yes contained in that one trailer.
Yeah. Like I said, I was like with She-Hulk, I couldn't get into. They just Marvel's right now has just been dropping the ball. And then except for like Werewolf by Night. No, Werewolf by Night was kind of good. The only thing
Moon Knight season 2 was announced.
Yeah. Moon Knight was all right. I liked it a little bit. It was the end. It was actually the ending that I really liked because it
It introduced the third personality. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, there's really nothing that.
But yeah, definitely. Oh my God, so definitely sold on that.
Told you.
I cannot wait now. Yeah, you know what? I apologize. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's all there is to it.
There's something else that's coming out that I want really want. I didn't want to I hadn't seen Halloween in
and for you Doctor Who fans.
Oh yeah, they changed out the
Jodie Whittaker ended her run as the Doctor, and for a few episodes David Tennant is the Doctor again.
Yep, he's coming back.
And Catherine Tate is going to be his companion. So they're going to run like 3 or 4 episodes, and then for the holiday 2023, I think it is, episode is they're going to have another guy come in and be the 15th Doctor. But David Tennant is back as the Doctor, everybody.
Yeah, everybody was so excited about that.
Lonzi. I'm like, oh my God. So I mean, I saw the clip of that, of the regeneration, and I was like, no. They kept that so completely secret. Like David Tennant said nothing, didn't hint about anything. Nobody said anything. And just when they came out and put it on the air, and everybody lost their freaking minds. And I'm like, oh my God, this Olonzi. And then on top of that, Disney Plus announced that Doctor Who is going to be coming to that streaming platform. Which it's on HBO Max now.
Oh yeah. Guess what's coming out? Sherlock Holmes.
Oh,
What was that? Like
Robert Downey Jr. Or are you talking about Enola Holmes?
No, Sherlock.
With Benedict Cumberbatch?
Fuck yeah.
A new season?
Yes.
Yes. I so loved that show. Enola Holmes, the one with Millie Miley Brown.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
Yeah, the
Season.
sequel's coming out for that one. Her and Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
who plays Sherlock. I mean, they're teaming up, sort of, kind of, in this new movie.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it's true. I've heard that for the Secret Wars, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Tony Stark.
Hologram.
Is it a hologram?
I think it's going to be a hologram.
Still, we're getting Tony Stark in some form. I'm
Yeah.
happy about that.
Because
So-
Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America for Falcon the Winter Soldier movie.
No, you mean Captain America: New World Order?
Yeah, that.
Okay. Wouldn't he be coming back as old man Evans, or as old man Rogers, rather?
I don't know how they're gonna do it. I mean, they
they're
got
gonna
the
have,
time travel.
they
shit
have to be
going on.
careful with that.
I mean, it's comics, so
Nah, but they still got to be careful with it, man, because in the MCU they established that Steve Rogers went back in time to be with Peggy Carter.
I mean, they did a lot of wrap up and everything, but they've been. I hate to say it, they after Endgame, they
Mhm.
really dropped the ball. They've been dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Other than well, this is still Sony.
Well,
Sony's been
Tini
picking up-
Wakati. I'm glad that. I mean, I think he's funny, but I'm glad that he will not be invited back to direct any more Thor movies.
Yeah.
Thor needs to be very serious. I mean, I liked
talking
Love
to-
and Thunder. I liked Love and Thunder. I like the story behind it. It was just, it wasn't enough seriousness. It was too much of a comedy, man. And I get,
Yeah.
before anybody starts harping on it, it was told from the point of view of blah blah. I don't care.
I mean, the actual storyline
The
with
storyline was very, I mean, had the potential to be very dark and very moving, but I mean, they just
yeah,
chose to
it
tell
was too much. It was, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion.
However
Uh,
uneducated and humble it may be.
yes, I love the Jane Foster Thor. I was really happy for it because I actually, read it in the comics and I was like, oh, okay. And it was just, and they just woke it the whole movie. I was like, really? The Jane
I
Foster?
think one of the
comics were
few
actually-
saving graces of that movie was the end credit scene where Jane goes to Valhalla,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, he goes, "Welcome to
Actually-
Valhalla."
Actually, she turned in the comics, she turns into Valkyrie. And
Yeah,
she-
in the comic books, she becomes a Valkyrie, but I love the cancer storyline that they played.
yeah, they did the same line what they
Yeah,
did.
I
in
mean,
the
they did
comics.
that correct. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as source material is concerned, but I like the fact that they were like, okay, when they convinced Natalie Portman to come back and reprise her role as Jane Foster, she was like, this is going to be a one-time thing, and so she's like, okay, well, all right, well, we're just going to send Jane to Valhalla. And so I mean, I think they did that right. So I mean, as far as like the purists are concerned, they probably, nobody, I mean, they'd be like, oh, this sucks, but I think as far as the MCU is concerned and the storylines that it's trying to cultivate and sustain, I think that they did that correctly.
Well, what's really what upsets me a little bit on this is the way they're putting all the stuff out, and it's not really connecting like they used to.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem a little
That-
bit disjointed. Well, and here's the thing. Okay, so they're basically retconning the Netflix series, right? But John Bergdahl's coming back as the Punisher. So and then Charlie Cox is coming back as Matt
Daredevil.
Murdock and Daredevil. But I'm like, okay, Are they going to reintroduce Jessica Jones? Are they going to reintroduce Luke Cage? I mean, what about Iron Fist? I mean, out of all the Netflix series, I think Iron Fist probably needed to be redone the most.
Yeah.
Um,
There are even talks, even Kevin Feige said that they are getting rid of they're not gonna this is gonna be like the last Avengers. The other show that's coming out that I can't wait for is Secret Invasion.
yeah. Um, as far as and I here's the thing: if they're going to get rid of the title, the Avengers, I mean that takes out a huge chunk of the MCU.
I think what they might end up doing is they
Now, if they
might,
went like with the West Coast Avengers or the New Avengers or the Young Avengers, fine.
I-
But I mean, as far as the core group is concerned, the only one that's left now is Brody, War Machine.
yeah.
And he's not necessarily core. Well, as far as like the originals, I mean, the only one that's left is Thor. But
hmm
I mean,
You're talking about the Trinity.
between Iron Man, Captain America,
Like,
well,
like
I mean,
DCU,
Hawkeye's still around.
yeah, DC has their Trinity. They have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Marvel has Thor, Cap, and Iron Man,
Yeah.
which they're still keeping around Hulk. Hulk is still, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about the Hulk.
Did you watch the ending of She-Hulk?
I haven't watched any episodes of the She-Hulk just because, and I'm saying this, and even though I'm a Marvel fanboy, it just didn't grab my interest, man.
It.
I mean, I didn't
I
even
watched
finish
it,
Ms. Marvel.
I fast forward a lot of it. Ms.
I
Marvel.
didn't even finish Ms. Marvel, and I want to go back and watch that one because the Kamala Khan storyline kind of intrigues me, but I got bored, man.
I'm with you.
But it's
But
coming up
we're
on
at-
9:30, man. So let's go ahead and land this plane.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Check us out: Spotify, Apple, all the podcast places, Rumble, and YouTube every once in a while. But
Even if you hate us, leave us a 5-star review. Give us positive feedback. Even if you're trashing us, make it sound like you're praising us. Praise us through your cut downs on YouTube.
or just do it in
something.
French. Do it in French, so we think it's like
Yes, do it
six.
in French. Do it in French. I would say do it in Russian, but YouTube's probably going to like delete that comment because everything Russia is very bad at this point. And it's very bad.
Just don't do it in German or Klingon because it sounds like hate.
You're right. I mean, you can't even trying to say I love you in German. Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, I know I've got a translator around here. Hold on just a minute.
You know what? I think I might want to do that. I'm gonna make it one of the sound buttons. Just a hateful sound button.
Just being
What
German.
does he keep on, especially since we got like German listeners? I'm gonna put it in there. I'm just saying now, German listeners, we're gonna put, if you can see me a soundbite through Facebook Messenger on Angry Me Production page and or Instagram, we will use your I love you in the most hated way in German. Oh, you know what? I got it on my phone. Hold on. See if I can beat you.
I've already got it pulled up here.
Okay.
Let me see here. German. There we go. Oh, this is going to be great. All right. Let me turn off my sound again. Here we go.
Ich liebe dich.
Ich liebe dich. Ich liebe dich. I love you in German. And that sounds that I mean that even sounds like you're cussing somebody out.
How did oh I put it in Dutch.
You could do the whole Joe Biden, Adolf Hitler thing, right? Watch here. You're gonna love this. Eyes up, and here we go. Ready? Ready for it? Ready? Ready? Ich liebe dich.
Yeah, there you go. Send me that soundbite. Fucking hilarious.
Oh, you're gonna have to go back and cut that out, man. All right, man. Well,
Yeah.
I gotta go. I'm Johnny Skelton,
I'm David Dickerman. And
and
this,
this has been Nerd Sports, episode 80. Boy.
Victory.